and welcome to my channel. We are going to be doing a question a day in May where I will be answering a question each day from a member of my community. It's kind of in the title, right? And I also thought it might be fun to show you around my neighbourhood. So if you don't know, I live in Japan, kind of out in the countryside, and I'll share my lovely neighbourhood with you. Okay, let's get on to today's question. Hello, and today's question is all about PayPal. Okay, I had a few people asking me about PayPal and payment processing and all that, so I'm just going to dump everything in together. Lots of questions. First of all, which one's better, PayPal or Stripe? They're both great processors, they're both secure. I always opt for PayPal. I think if it's possible, you should offer both. PayPal is definitely for people who are lazy, like myself. So if I come across something and it's one of those no-brainer, quick purchases, low price, if I've got to get up and go and find my credit card, I'm not going to buy. You've lost the sale, purely because I can't be bothered. And I'm not alone in this. Like every time I see these posts go up in entrepreneur groups, there's always a load of people saying, "Oh yeah, that's me. If they don't offer PayPal, I'm not buying it." I have a secondary reason as well. Often when I see things offered, it's in US dollars, and my US dollars are in my PayPal account. So unless it's something being offered in yen or British pound, I'm not getting off the sofa to go and find my credit card. So you will automatically lose the sale if you're not offering PayPal. The other thing is that PayPal is really easy to use. Like people, they recognize PayPal. Whereas if you're using some of the lesser known processing systems, people might not have heard of them and are unsure, and they're not likely to get the credit card out for that reason. I think it is a good idea if you are offering PayPal. Some people don't want to use PayPal or sign up for PayPal, but you can just use the PayPal as a processing system unless they're signing up for a subscription, in which case they do need to be registered with PayPal. So if it's a one-off purchase, they don't need to be signed up with PayPal. It's just using PayPal as a processing system, which means their money is going to be secure. So I think if that's the case, you should mention that on the website so people understand that they haven't got to go and sign up. They just need to be processed through PayPal's secure system. On that point, I see a lot of people complaining about PayPal's fees, and PayPal and Stripe, when you compare them next to each other, are not so different. And really, you should be building those fees into your pricing. And if you're not, you're doing it wrong. PayPal, like, people complain, well, they're taking so much money off me, but PayPal and Stripe and any other processor, they're the ones developing the secure website back end to make sure your customers' credit card details are safe and that you're not going to come and get your ass kicked when they sue you because their credit card details have been stolen. So I think that's a really important point to remember, is that they're keeping your customers safe and they're keeping you safe, and that's what you're paying for. So PayPal holding money, I haven't seen this for a while, so I don't know whether they've stopped doing it. Go away. What happened often, or used to happen often, was that somebody would have a launch and suddenly have a massive influx of money coming into their account, and PayPal would freeze their account until they could be sure that the money was legit. Again, PayPal would take a bashing for this, but really PayPal are just covering all their bases and making sure that it's not so dodgy money laundering, just quick money get quick scheme or something going on. So again, PayPal shouldn't be bashed for this, for keeping everybody safe, because that's basically what they were doing. They do hold some of your money, and again, this is to make sure that everything is legal and above board. So when you get, I don't know, $500 into your account, they will hold a percentage of that, and then they release it. I think it's 21 days later. Um, but I just don't bother worrying about it because it always gets released. There's never been any problem from my end, so I just carry on. I don't think Stripe do that. I have signed up for Stripe, but I haven't been using it. So when I started online, PayPal was the only system I could use in Japan, and it wasn't a Japanese-based processor then. It was based in the US. I can't remember how many years ago, maybe 8 years ago, PayPal moved into PayPal Japan, and then they had to apply to Japan's financial laws, which are a lot stricter than a lot of other places. And because of that, there are features in PayPal Japan that are not there compared to, say, the US version, like the friends and family feature, where you can send friends and family payments without any fees. You can't do that in Japan. The feature doesn't exist, and that's because of Japanese banking laws. Again, it's not PayPal's fault. Um, PayPal always sides with the customer. This is something I always hear, and people say don't use PayPal because they always side with the customer. It's crap. They don't always side with the customer at all. But the seller needs to have all their paperwork in order. You've got to make sure that everything is above order. You've got all your legal ducks in a row. Otherwise, PayPal will side with the customer. So I've had a couple of disputes opened, and I've always won them because my terms and conditions were always watertight, and like the sales page, it outlines exactly what you get. I can show them from the back end of my website that people have logged in, that they've used the stuff. So when I've had people raise a dispute and say, oh, I didn't get the thing that I paid for, blah, 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 I can say, yes, they did. And they logged in 17 times and they downloaded this stuff. And I've been able to show PayPal everything. And yeah, PayPal's thrown out the dispute. So when you hear that PayPal always side with the customer, often they do, but often it's the seller's fault because they're not making sure that all their I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, or whatever the expression is. So make sure you've got all that in place, otherwise you are opening yourself up to trouble. With digital products, it is a bit more difficult, and PayPal tend to err on the side of caution and go with the customer, but it's not always so. And also PayPal and Stripe, their terms and conditions are really strict. And so if you are selling anything that they deem to be against their terms and conditions, they'll close your account down. And Raquel mentioned that she knows somebody who had their account closed down and PayPal held their money and they haven't been able to get it back. I can't comment on that because I don't know the ins and outs of the situation, and I don't know whether the seller had got all their legal ducks in a row. Like I haven't heard of that situation before, so I can only assume they were doing something that PayPal didn't agree with or something, but I don't know. I do know that you need to make sure that you're not using MLM, your multi-level marketing. PayPal are against that. And yeah, you need to check the terms and conditions and make sure that whatever you are selling isn't going to go against their terms and conditions, and that your sales page can't be interpreted in a way that it's like a get rich quick scheme or something like that, because they will shut you down for that. I think that's about it. What else have I got to say? Basically, make sure you're following the terms and conditions of PayPal and Stripe or whichever gateway you use. Build their fees into your pricing. Make sure whatever you're selling is legal and above board, and that you have got your terms and conditions all set up and they are all law abiding too. And yeah, pretty much that's it. Make sure you're offering PayPal because people won't buy. They'll go elsewhere. Whatever you're selling, somebody else is selling it somewhere else with a PayPal button. So, right, I think that's it. So that is the last one for the question a day in May, even though I missed two. One because I recorded the inside of my bag, and the other one because yesterday I was really feeling poorly and I just couldn't be bothered, basically. Um, so here is, I'm in quite a little corner here. It's not so windy today. And just up this little path, there's a tiny, tiny little shrine up there. It's quite cute. Maybe I'll take you up there one day. But I'm going to have to rush back because I've got a call. All right. I am happy to answer any other questions. If you've stumbled across this in September or something and you're like, oh, I've got a question, just let me know. And yeah, happy to answer questions. I'm happy to take you out and about so you can enjoy the Japanese countryside. All right, I will be in the inbox of the winner tomorrow. So everybody who submitted a question, I said I would treat somebody who submitted a question to a little surprise. So keep an eye on your inbox because the winner will get a message from me tomorrow. All right, take care and thank you for joining me.
I hope that answered all your questions today. If you have a question, pop it in the form below and come and join us in Mums That Rock, which is our online community for mums who are multi-passionate and building a business around their family. Please like and subscribe to my channel and all that jazz, and I will see you next time. Cheerio!